we were discussing all kinds of stuff, super high level stuff, and I was on stage, and there was a young kid, a 19-year-old kid that says, "Hey, if you had to give me one word of what it takes to be successful, what would that word be?"
Hey, and welcome to the Closing Day podcast. We are so excited because we've got a big guest today in the real estate industry, and it is Carlos Reyes is with us today.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be the first interview on the Closing Day podcast?
Well, like I said, I've been a part of some pretty nice big podcasts, but never the first interviewee ever. So
we popped your first.
This is a milestone.
There it is.
It's a milestone for me. Yeah. Thank you.
And if you're just joining us, my name is Buck Wise. This is my beautiful, successful, loving wife, Allie Wise.
Keep going.
CEO of Wise Property Group. I mean, we could easily spend a lot of time talking about real estate right now, but what I love about Carlos is your mindset. I love your depth. I love your emotional intelligence, your social EQ. Like Carlos has
tenacity in there.
The thing about Carlos is you have success from a business standpoint, but if you watch your channels, if you follow your at Carlos Reyes on Instagram, you'll notice that you really don't talk about real estate as much as you do about family and kindness
life.
and authenticity.
And you know what's crazy? I wrote this book.
The best wholesale book
ever.
I wrote this book.
Yeah.
And it's like when it comes to single family residential, marketing strategy, systems, processes, like I've spent countless, like thousands and thousands of hours, like building and beta testing, spent millions of dollars, like failing, you know what I mean? And real estate to me is like, I can do it with the blindfold on, you know what I mean? I like to talk about the things that like really matter, from a foundational standpoint.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can't be a successful anything if your foundation isn't what it needs to be.
Yeah. It's almost like you're 100%. At the phase of life where you're mastering yourself.
Yes.
And
that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll never truly master myself. Right. But the fact of the matter is, like, if you just try every day, you get a little closer to your ideal target, which is to master self. And, we were talking earlier, right, on another podcast.
Sure.
Where I said, man, all that stuff that people said, like the memes and the old cliche saying about like, master self, master the world. You know what I mean? It's really true.
Yeah.
It's really true. I've now from experience, even from master what you eat, master what you eat. And you can, like, if you can have the discipline of how you eat, what you eat, then you can have the discipline of anything else. And if you were to ask me, because I was speaking at an event called Hustle Harder in Milwaukee.
Okay.
A guy named Scott Lurie and Tony Romero, they threw this event. Scott Lurie owns probably half of downtown Milwaukee. This guy has 100,000 square foot bodega or of some kind where he has he has a brewery in there. He has, he rents to lawyers. He rents to realtors. He has his stuff in 100,000. Like, it's the most beautiful complex ever. Self-storage unit in there also, right across from the Pfizer Forum, which is where the Bucks play, right? And we were discussing all kinds of stuff, super high level stuff, and I was on stage, and there was a young kid, a 19-year-old kid that says, "Hey, if you had to give me one word of what it takes to be successful, what would that word be?" And I thought about it. You can literally, you can ask Pat, who was filming, and I'm like, damn, nobody's ever asked me that before.
That's a good
right?
question. Yeah.
And there's so many, there's so many words out there, right? Commitment, right? Sacrifice.
What'd you drop on
conviction. I thought about it, and I was like, discipline. Discipline is the word.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to be successful.
How do you find discipline? For somebody that's listening right now, we have a lot of agents that listen to this show. They're just getting started. They're like, man, I can't get a lead.
Great question. And that's a great question. How do you find discipline, especially when you're an individual that didn't grow up with discipline? I had no discipline in my life,
and
right?
you're up against all the odds.
So what I specifically had to do is, it's like the old me had to die. Like I had to shed that skin. I had to completely transform myself into like, okay, that's the person that I want to become. That's the person that I desire to become. That's the person that I need to become.
You do this overnight?
No,
It's overtime.
No, it takes years.
Yeah.
But it takes like, life, as we all know, is like everybody's so, sprint minded when it comes to life, right? Life is a marathon. Like you're going to be here in most cases for decades, right? So every single day actually does matter because every single day compounds and contributes to whatever it is that your target is or whatever it is that your ideal version of yourself is. And that's how I did it. I said, you know what? I want to be this successful individual who has their home in order, who has their health in order, right? Who has their finances in order. And then every single day you work towards being that person. And guess what? You got to force yourself to be disciplined.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have
Every
to be
single day.
disciplined to be disciplined.
Absolutely.
Like the word discipline is very deep, right? Like you have to, in order to find the discipline to do anything or be somebody, you have to be disciplined within the mentality to then go forth and do or be.
And you know what's funny is like success leaves clues and everything's out there for you. Like, here, finish this. Do anything like you do. Say it, finish it. Everything.
Everything.
Right? Do anything like you do everything, right? Like these clues are out there, but people don't comprehend them. And then more importantly, they don't apply them. Do anything like you do everything. And that's what it comes down to. Like, if you want to be this massively successful individual, then you gotta have the discipline to get your workouts in. You gotta have the discipline to get your reading in. You gotta have the discipline to eat the right foods because food is either gonna slow you down or speed you up, right? There's something that I learned from one of my coaches was like, hey Carlos, stop thinking about food, because I had a food issue. I had a food issue and it didn't catch up to me until my metabolism starts to slow down in your 30s, right?
Sure.
So I had a food issue to the point where I would eat for pleasure and I would eat for stress.
I think that's America, right?
I was going to say, I think that's most of us.
I was stressed. What would I do? I would eat.
Yeah.
Because I'm stressed out. I need, I need some of those
Insulin.
hormones.
Yeah, you need
what is that hormone called that gives you
the connector? Yeah, serotonin.
Serotonin, right? Yeah. Serotonin, is it serotonin? I thought serotonin. Whatever. But anyway, right? I'm stressed.
Adrenaline.
I'm stressed.
Yeah.
I need to eat. I need to comfort myself. I need to feel better right now.
What would you say so talking to that agent right now that's just getting started and they know they need more discipline, but they don't know where to start.
I can tell you where that person needs to start.
Is it health? Is it food?
No, I can tell you where that person needs to start.
What is it?
Answer your damn phone.
I've heard you say this before.
And dial the phone.
Answer the phone, dial the phone, talk to people, right?
Yeah, I've heard you say this before.
Be proactive.
Let me hear you go into this a little bit. The number one
reason,
opportunity and issue in the real estate space is what?
Especially on the retail side, the agency side.
Yeah.
For some crazy reason, real estate agents specifically over investors, over lawyers, over anything out there, appraisers, whatever, right? They don't answer their phones.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe in their head they think they're busier than they are. Right? But and by the way, there's no glory in being busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't even like to I never use the word busy. You can ask anybody, any of my staff, any of my family, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't use the word busy.
Yeah.
I would rather use the word occupied, or productive, you know.
Yeah.
Busy to me sounds like you're just
excuse.
wasting your time.
It's an excuse.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time. So I think real estate agents, they got to have the discipline to answer their phone. If you are a horrible, absolute horrible real estate agent on the marketing aspect, on the social skills aspect, if you just answer your phone, you will reach 6 figures in gross revenue in that year.
That's the takeaway. That's the
if you just answer your phone.
So let me switch gears for 2 seconds. Have you ever employed family in your business?
Yes, I have.
Currently?
That was my brother-in-law that just walked out.
Oh, so how much family is in the business with you?
Now, it's down to 2 people.
Now, what's the learning lesson on family and business? Because obviously, Allie and I are married in real estate together. You've got a successful real estate company, and you've hired family, close proximity.
So I have a business where my wife is my business partner. She's a minority partner in our medical business.
Yeah.
And we're actually in the process of buying her out, and she's okay with it. Because, it's really tough to be business partners and be significant others.
Yeah. We keep getting
So,
this.
like,
we
where
keep
is
getting
the
this.
line?
We
You
keep
get what I'm
getting
saying?
this.
Business partners, life partners. It's
Where is the line? Where is the line drawn?
What was the
Because
biggest challenge with you and your wife?
I started talking to her like a business partner.
Like a partner.
Like a business partner.
Yeah.
I stopped dating her. I stopped bringing flowers. I started talking to her.
When you went on a date.
Like I was in business mode.
You were
right?
talking business.
And the thing about being a husband and being a father is when you walk through, like I have a rule in my own home, and you can ask my wife, I will not walk in through that garage on my phone.
Wow. That's a big rule.
And guess
like
what?
that.
And guess what? If she sees me,
Yeah.
she has the right to bicker.
Wow.
I will not, because you know what happens when I walk in to
Tell me. Give us an intimate view.
actually, I'll give you a better. This is what I was going to show you. I'll give you a hell of a view.
Uh-oh. We
Watch
got the
this.
documentation
Well,
here.
yeah,
If you're watching on
documentation-
video.
Documentation beats conversation.
Okay,
right?
let's see it.
All right. I'll let you hear it. Watch this. Hold
If you're
on.
listening, listen closely to the experience that Carlos has as he walks through the door.
Ready?
If you're watching, you get to see it.
Let me see.
Hope there's some nudity involved.
See. No, there's no nudity. Okay, so that's my baby girl, and
Okay,
they're
here
like,
we go.
what's going on? She's waiting for me to walk in through the
Here
door,
comes Dad.
right? That's
That's so cute.
you see that?
That's it.
Watch this.
That's worth it all, right?
Watch this. Watch this. Hold on.
and the effect for her is
Now-
not the same if you're on your phone.
Watch this. I was on my phone outside, and I told my wife. She's like, "Hey, you're." Look at this. My wife was waiting for him.
Oh.
They're waiting for you to come in.
But you were on the phone.
I was because I don't want to walk in on the phone, right? So I'm
okay.
trying to cut it right
Okay,
in the garage. Look at this. Look at this. She's like, "Daddy's taking too long." She says, "How does that make you feel?" Mad.
Mad.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
Man.
Right?
Put you on the hot seat.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
why I have a rule where
Yeah.
I will not walk in, in my
Sure.
home with the phone on.
What's your best advice? Because we got a lot of people that listen to the podcast that are also business with family.
Yep.
So what's your best advice for working? I mean,
Ready?
Allie and I are new to working together.
Ready?
Yeah.
Listen, if you have to choose between putting on your husband hat on or putting on your partner hat on, choose your husband hat.
Wow.
Choose your husband hat.
Yeah.
When I walk in through that door, I am no longer the, 8-figure producer, CEO, public figure, whatever. Like I'm like, that shit doesn't matter to me. Like I'm putting on my husband hat and my dad hat. And man, I'm telling you, it has really helped me out in life. I wish I would have figured this out a lot sooner. A lot sooner. I believe that you are a weak individual if you cannot draw that line and if you don't choose your family over any business that may be going on.
That's sound
I really do,
advice.
because I've been on both sides of the fence.
Sure.
Yep.
And I can tell you, I would rather have my husband hat on and my daddy hat on.
Yeah, sure.
That makes me happier than doing a $100 million transaction or $50 million
That's
transaction.
huge.
You know
It's
what I
great
mean?
advice.
Love that.
For sure.
Do you want to ask a question? Because I want to steamroll this whole thing back and talk to Carlos for hours and ask
We
him a lot
already
of
did,
questions.
Give him another one.
So my next question is, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, you're a good predictor. What does the future of real estate look like? And is it a career that somebody should be getting into right now? Is it too
Absolutely.
late? Is
No.
it too late?
It's never
It's
too
not.
late.
It's never too late. First and foremost, people like ourselves, we're always going to adapt. We're going to move, right? Whatever the market's doing, like we're going to move with it, right? We are adaptive people by nature. We're entrepreneurs,
Right.
Right? We're solutions people,
Right.
right? So if anybody out there is thinking about joining, the real estate industry,
Right.
they have to. It saved my life.
Right.
Real estate saved my life.
Wow.
It saved my brother-in-law's life, who's right there.
That's powerful.
It saved my whole entire family's life.
Yeah.
Right? And now, because of the capacity that I've been able to operate in, as far as like real estate transactions and, mentorship and all that, it has saved so many people's lives across the country. And it's changed the trajectory of my family forever and the trajectory of thousands, of tens of thousands of people across the country because of real estate. In my opinion, real estate is the quickest way that you can build wealth. And it's the number one wealth builder as far as keeping it.
I believe it.
Ever out there. No matter, I don't care if you're flipping jets, if you're flipping e-commerce, Forex, crypto, whatever. There will, like, the one thing that people are no longer making any of is land. They're making more crypto, they're making more cars, they're making more planes. They're not making more land. So yeah, this is going to be, in my opinion, it will always be the wealth driving force of anyone.
Love this. So Carlos, where should people follow you if they want to get your book or see your YouTube?
And by the way, for anybody that heard that, like, stop thinking and start doing.
I
right?
like that.
Like, stop thinking like, should I? Brother, I wanted to get into the real estate space in 2007. I went to Westford College to become a real estate agent. I went through the entire thing. I started, by the way, it's unbelievable how hard they make these tests.
Yeah, they are hard.
I failed the state test like 3 times, and then you know what I mean? I didn't even get to the federal test. I was like, okay, I'm out. And then, thank God though, everything worked out. I became an investor. I don't have a real estate license, but the people that work under me do, right? So anyway, people need to stop thinking and start doing, because that's one of the biggest regrets that I have when it comes to my professional career is I wish I would have got involved in real estate sooner.
Wow.
We would have, this podcast could have been on my private jet. You know, so.
True. Good point, man.
Quick question about team building. So you've got the wholesaling side, but you have all these other companies. So you have people who you employ, and then you have independent contractors. Similar with real estate, right? We operate under our brokerage as independent contractors, and the agents who are joining our team are also independent contractors under the same brokerage, right? But then we have our team for our business. So regardless of what side of things you're looking on, what's your best advice for team building? What do you look for? What's
core
most
values.
important?
Core values. What is your company about? What is the Wise Property Group about?
Right.
What are your 5 core values? Is it teamwork? Is it integrity? What
do you
is
apply
it? Is it innovative?
Even if you have them, how do you apply them? So
every day. So your core values become like the law of the land, like the Constitution. You hire, you fire, based off those core values.
That's great.
So for me, it's like work ethic is one of our core values. If you don't have the work ethic to match Sal and I, if you're a comfortable person, you can go be comfortable somewhere else.
Sure.
That's a core value.
Love it.
Right? If you don't have integrity, you don't need to be here. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to building a team, you build it around core values.
Love that.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, Carlos, I appreciate your time.
Oh, wow.
If there's,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I could talk for hours. Maybe we'll have you come back on another episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Where should people go if they want to connect with you?
At Carlos Reyes. And if people, so we were like, everybody's an Amazon bestseller these days, right? But we really were an Amazon bestseller the first couple months. But if anybody wants to, get involved in real estate like I did with no license, no money, no credit, instead of buying this book on Amazon for $25, go and get it at thebestreibook.com, right? Or bestreibook.com. Bestreibook.com. The book is called The Best Wholesaling Book Ever because what I did was I downloaded and read over 30 wholesaling books.
Wow.
And then I'm like, oh, this book is missing this, and this book is missing that.
And these are all the missing pieces.
I put it all there. I
So
put
great.
scripts,
Genius.
I put everything. So you have to. You always want to make the product better, right? So bestreibook.com, they can download it for free.
Love it. Thank you so much, brother.
For sure.
I appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
There it is, Carlos Reyes, as we wrap up another Closing Day podcast. You can always find us on Instagram as well, @AboutBuck and
At Alley Wise Realtor.
that's right. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.